good afternoon or good evening. And our top stories today are:
Top US dyer launches new Star Wars inspired yarn named after my co-presenter.
a new baby's been born in Berbisher. Greedo giraffe arrived on the 12th of November. He weighed in at a very healthy 105 grams, and mother and baby are doing well.
The Knitting and Stitching Show arrives in Harrogate this week.
To celebrate the birth of baby Greedo, the Miss Gelato giraffe pattern, a new design from KF Jones, is available today. How exciting is that? I know.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting. I'm so excited. Yes. Ooh, the top US yarn dyer. And it's funny, isn't it, how that is linked to the birth of baby Greedo?
Yes, that's very true.
So actually, is Michelle partially the mother?
Well,
No, she's the father.
She's the father?
Yeah.
That's a bit worrying.
Well, she provided the yarn.
She did.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she did.
And she dyed it.
She did.
So the father is Michelle from Dancing Dog Dye Works, and the mother
It's me.
is Kay.
Michelle. Never thought it was possible. There we go.
That's hilarious. Where is baby Greedo?
Baby Greedo is there.
Can
Are
we
we not going to talk about the yarn first?
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. I got so excited
He's got.
about the top
It's getting
US.
previous. Is that the word?
Yes. So how many was it? 73 sold.
Quite a number, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was in the 70s. Yeah, Michelle from Dancing Dog Dye Works designed. All hail Michelle.
All hail Michelle.
And nobody's been face to face with her yet and
No.
sang her name.
No, Debbie.
Debbie. She cheated. And she just sang
You have
it.
to do it to her
face.
and it needs filming. So it needs 3 people. It needs a cameraman. It needs the person who is going to Michelle.
It's not going to happen.
And it needs Michelle. Of course, it's going to happen, and there will be a prize.
So Michelle dyed up some yarn called Obi-Wan Knitter, and she dyed it up in all the Star Wars colours for Dan.
Amazing, actually.
Really amazing.
I've got to say, I was quite sceptical, but when I saw, because you can't
imagine
those
no,
colours.
that's true actually. You
You think, how is it
imagine.
possible? And then it's
Yeah,
not
and
there.
it's amazing, and I'll show you in a second. And she put up pre-orders for it last weekend.
It arrived, didn't it, on the day we recorded last time?
Oh, it did.
On the afternoon.
Afterwards.
We'd already recorded.
We'd already recorded,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I got the yarn, so obviously we didn't talk about it last time.
No.
So she put up the pre-orders for a couple of days, I think, and sold oodles, and she's in the process of dyeing it all up now and sending it out. So if you got 1 or 2, then yay! So thank you very much for doing that, and thank you to Michelle.
Yeah, I know.
We love
It's so amazing.
And I've still got some chocolate in my fridge, Michelle. I've not eaten it all yet. Have you eaten it?
No,
You better not have
I
eaten
just
that.
had a tiny
She sent that for me.
I only had a tiny bit more. Yes, it was ages ago. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm beyond words as to.
Yeah.
It's funny. Kay and I today have ran the gauntlet of the waste recycling.
Don't even go there.
Has anyone seen Toy Story 3? We don't talk about that film, to be honest, because it's too upsetting. But you know the bit in Toy Story 3 where they're at the tip and those big giant things that, like, we've been to the tip today.
We call it the tip in England. I mean, in America you might not know what we're talking about. It's the
Garbage dump.
The Waste Recycling Centre is
Yes.
what it's officially known as, but everybody just calls it the tip.
And we couldn't go to like the household tip.
No.
Not that we'd want to anyway, because you have to give your blood type, and,
No,
and it has to be the 3rd Thursday in a leap year to allow you in. So we didn't want to go there. So we went to this new tip. It was terrifying.
It was terrifying.
We had to pull on this weighbridge, and we're just going on a break.
Yeah, and then he was just going off. This fellow was just going off for his cup of tea, and this was at
Sold off.
9:20 in the morning. He's like, "Oh, I'm just going for a break. Are you all right to wait 20 minutes?" So I'm like, "Oh, we'll just sit here and wait." Luckily, I'd taken my knitting.
So I had to reverse back off the weighbridge, and then all these lorries
These
started.
massive trucks
It was
all
terrifying.
piling behind us, and we're there in our little 4x4.
Don't look, don't look. I mean, our vehicle's quite big, but to those
Well,
things.
it feels big, but they're like that.
Whoa. So eventually we got in, and
we did.
We had to wait whilst an enormous blooming thing unloaded. But anyway,
it was really stinky as well.
Yeah. If anyone has seen Toy Story 3, the bit where they're at the tip and there's those massive things, that's exactly what it was like. And I said to Kay when we were sat in the car, of all the things that I didn't expect to happen this year is for us to be sat in a queue behind a weighbridge surrounded by giant lorries. But actually, of all the things I'd never expected, never mind this year, but in my life, is to have someone name a yarn after
you. I know, and it's fabulous, and I'll show you Greedo. So, of course, I knit a giraffe in the colourway.
So there's been a new baby.
New baby.
In Baby Show.
Yay.
Let's see him.
Here's Greedo. Yay.
Greedo.
Yay.
I wonder where we got that name.
Greedo, yeah. I wonder where. Where do you think? So this is the colourway here. It's beautiful. It's got, she named all the different colours. There's like Yoda green, and the orange is for the uniforms, isn't it, of the TIE fighters?
No.
Is that right? No, not TIE fighters.
No. Of the X-Wing fighter
X-Wing fighters, sorry. Yeah. Brown for Chewie and...
Seriously, you're on a sticky slope here because she's got a lot of colours in there.
All right,
and if you try and remember them all,
you can
hats off to you, baby.
And I think I probably could remember them all.
Go.
Well, the black was Darth Black.
Yes.
The brown was for Obi-Wan's robes and Chewie, the colour of Chewie.
Yeah.
The silver grey is for R2-D2, or is the blue R2-D2? Maybe both of those are R2-D2.
I think the blue's R2-D2.
No, the grey is the spaceships.
Yes.
Grey is the spaceships.
Yes.
Blue is R2-D2.
Yes.
The goldy colour is C-3PO.
Yes.
The orange is the pilots' uniforms.
Yes.
I think that's all the colours.
There's some Boba Fett in there.
What colour's Boba Fett?
Well, Boba Fett.
The darker green.
There you go. She did it. You win the Star Prize.
Yay.
Do you want to know what you've won?
He's clapping his ears, looking celebration.
Do you want to know what you've won?
What have I won?
You get to spend the rest of your life with me.
So the little extra bits I did in Cascade 220 Superwash, and the colourway was Blaze, I think, from memory. And then his cardigan I did in Rowan, 4-ply, wool cotton, and I can't remember the colourway, I'm sorry, it's just this sort of grey. And I think he came out super nice, and he's yours.
He is mine. And Greedo is Miss Gelato's dad.
No, they're married. Bryony married.
No.
She married
That
them?
might be what Bryony thinks. Greedo is Miss Gelato's dad.
Right, okay.
And they run the
they
shop
run the
together.
ice cream parlour.
Yeah, so it's really Greedo's shop, and she's learning the ropes.
Right.
And who knows, one day she might fall in love with someone and get married, because she can't marry her dad.
And I've got Miss Gelato here. I'll show you her in finished objects as well, because I hadn't done her last time.
No, that's true. So baby Greedo.
Baby Greedo.
Who weighs 105 grams.
He said to me yesterday, how much does Greedo weigh? And I'm like, what? And you were in another room, you just shouted through, out, what on earth are you talking about? So I had to come downstairs, put him on the scales and weigh him. 105 grams.
Yes. It's a very healthy weight for a giraffe, so I'm told. Oh yes, the Knitting and Stitching Show arrives in Harrogate this week. What is that, Kay?
Well, it's a Knitting and Stitching Show.
Yeah, I know, but people don't know what that is.
They run it every year, and it's, you thought something had come undone, it's his tail. It's his tail, look. His
tail was dangling, and I saw those, and I was like, oh no, what have I done?
He's very robust. I don't think you could damage him.
No.
So the Knitting and Stitching Show, it's a once a year event, and they go from London. I think they're in somewhere in Ireland as well. It might be Dublin.
So the same show?
Yeah, it's the same show. I think it's bigger in London. It's at Alexandra Palace in London. It's already been there last month. And it's in Harrogate now, and I've been the last 2 years. And the first year I just went by myself. But then last year my friend Lynn came with me, because she works in Harrogate. Because I used to work in Harrogate. She's my old boss. I'm sure I've said this a few times. So she's coming with me again tomorrow. We're meeting there. So I'm getting on the train by myself tomorrow. Going to the Knitting and Stitching Show. I've not got any plans really. The only thing I do want to get is I want a skein of 100% silk for Bryony to make her a cowl, because she's stolen this cowl that my friend Jen made me a couple of years ago. It's beautiful. It's the, oh gosh, it's a free ho-he pattern that's a cowl, or it'll come to me in a minute. And Bryony loves it because it's 100% silk, and she's very fussy about what material, you know, what fabric she has, and she just loves this cowl that's silk. So I said, right, okay, I'll get her a skein in lilac if I can find one, and make her another one so I can claim my cowl back. So I'm going to get that, and I want some chunky yarn as well to make a hat for Emily for Christmas, because I don't have any chunky yarn, strangely. And I want a pom-pom maker.
Cool. Yeah, Bryony, oh yeah, squirrel tails.
Squirrel tails?
Yeah, Bryony was excited because she thought that you could make a squirrel tail with a pom-pom maker.
I don't know how you'd make a squirrel tail with
Well,
a pom-pom maker.
I don't know, I've
Because
got...
a squirrel tail's long like
And
that.
you're going to have to extend the pom-poms.
You can't extend a pom-pom. A pom-pom is round.
There must be a way of making
You'll
it
have to sew.
extended.
I suppose you could make a big one, a medium one and a small one, and then sew them together, but then it'd just be floppy. It wouldn't stand up that. I don't know. What she's
I'm really
doing.
struggling not to laugh. You keep talking about floppy pom-poms.
So I'm going tomorrow. Yay!
I'm just going to have a great
I'll
time.
report back.
Yes.
Yeah, next time.
And to celebrate the birth of baby Greedo, Miss Gelato Giraffe gets launched today. What time?
Oh, I don't know. You didn't ask me that previously.
What time did you launch previously? It was at evening time here.
No, I did it very first thing in the morning because I think because I did it like 6 in the morning, and then I bought my own pattern, didn't I, to see see if it would be all right, because I've never done it before. I don't know. I don't know at the moment.
Right, but it will be launched today.
Which is what day?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, the third of your 3 patterns.
The third of my 3 patterns.
Yes.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Because it's the one I've done most recently.
But on the way back from the tip, we came past a shop. What's it called? Daisy, the cake lady, or something.
Daisy Lady.
And she sells all stuff to do with baking, and
It's like sugar craft and things like that.
and I said to you, what did you go in there for? And she said something to do with baking.
I can't remember.
What?
I've not been in for a couple of years because the lady who runs it is pretty miserable, I've got to say. I'm really sorry. I know.
I mean, how?
Really sorry to say that.
If you ran a shop that was still open, you know, it is still open.
It
So
never
clearly,
looks open. The window displays are always
but
really bad.
she's clearly
And
making a living.
yeah,
because she's still there.
She runs courses and she makes cakes as well to order. So I think
It's a pretty happy job to have that.
Well, I think so as well. And the shop's this cute little shop, and it's full of like cupcake cases and decorations for your cakes and fondant icing and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
And we go to the tip and meet the banksman who's happy as Larry.
I know. I haven't been in since, and it does make a huge difference. It's like when I go into the fabric shop in town. Oh my lord, I don't go in there either.
Well, it's a bit.
It's
Well,
like
no.
a jumble sale.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a jumble sale.
There's some good stuff though.
The fabric's lovely, and I go in because it's really nice fabric. It's the only place in town that does good fabric. We're digressing.
We are indeed digressing, but there's another headline that I didn't put on, an additional headline. Well, we went back to the consultants, didn't we?
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Just last week?
Yes.
Yes.
And everything's great.
Everything's great with
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got a bit. Yeah, we both got a bit nervous.
that last week before that, it's strange. I mean, we spoke about this. It's a strange feeling, kind of getting the all clear, because you expect instantly. I expected instantly to feel, you know, relief and.
Well, I think we did.
We did.
But I think very
But I
quickly.
expected all my worries just to disappear, and that didn't happen at all. And
You start to worry about other things.
I was I was even worse. I think that week previous to, you know, last week it wasn't it? Because we went on Friday. I just started worrying about everything, and I think it's because Dan's still on medication. He's got a blood clot on his lung due to the chemo, which is not unusual. And I want to sing a song.
It's Sam. Sam does that.
Oh, does he? I'm
No.
thinking it's Tom Jones.
Not he, she.
Oh, Kermit Van Frog, you mean?
No, I mean Sam. Sam, for 'twas her name.
Samara, if you're going to be like that.
Yeah. Well, she said she's like my mum.
Wants to sing.
Yeah, and of course we're doing a test with my mum. We were speaking to someone the other day, and we were saying how you can't say anything to my mum without her breaking into song. We should try and film it actually.
Yeah, we
see if we
should.
can get it on camera. If you say the words "could be" to her, she breaks into "Could Be" from West Side Story. So we'll see if we can get that on the Christmas special for you.
But yeah, I mean, we did kind of have a couple of weeks after we got the all clear where, you know, since that last podcast probably, where I was just getting in a state with myself, just like worrying, and I kept thinking you'd got like internal bleeding and all these bizarre, I know I sound ridiculous saying it, but you know, you read the side effects of drugs that you're taking and Google it, and
because it's a new
nightmare.
drug as well, which
it's a new drug. It's only been out like a year or two, which I think in terms of a drug is quite new. So you know, I was worried about whether it was going to get side effects, and it was just horrible. But then we went off.
Speaking of side effects, you know, on anyone who's got an Apple device where you could go onto the photo booth. You can probably do other things, and you can mess with your face and stuff, and make yourself look a bit weird. Well, I did that, and I sent it to my brother. I emailed my brother, and I said, just so you're not shocked the next time you see me, you know, there has been some side effects to the treatment.
And he had like this big Klingon, not a Klingon.
That's Mekon.
The ones with the big heads.
It's Mekon from down there, and that was my nickname at school.
Aww.
They used to call me Mekon Man.
So anyway,
thanks all ex-school friends. Hence the X.
I'm going to try and sit up straight and not slouch. So anyway, we went on Friday, and I think she said the doctor's lovely, and she, you know, she's really nice, and only young, but she's super nice, and she obviously sensed that we were freaking out a bit. And she had to do some blood tests anyway, because one of your liver function tests was off the last time, and that was like, oh my god, what's going on? And so she redid some bloods while we were there, and she checked all your tummy as well, didn't she? Because I was worried about your tummy, because I've been injecting him previous to him being on tablets for the blood clot. I was injecting him daily with blood thinners into his tummy. And it was kind of, he was getting bruised, and it was swollen, and I was just totally like freaking out. I was emailing Sally all the time saying, oh my god, he's, you know, So she checked all your tummy, and that was all fine. And she ran some bloods, and she actually rang a couple of hours later. That afternoon we got home, and she rang him up.
She put urgent on it too, and she was so cool, because she said, I've only written urgent because I want to get these results before the end of the day. It's not because you're in trouble. Because we saw it said urgent, and she must have seen our faces.
Well,
I hadn't seen it by then, so it was good that she did that.
I'd seen it.
Oh, right. Kay was already in a panic.
Maybe she saw me.
She'd already flushed white.
Oh gosh. So she rang a couple of hours later and said, you know, the bloods were all fine, and all your cancer markers are, you know, fine, and all the rest of it.
I think what we've spoken about is when for so long every emotion that you feel has an underlying other feeling.
Yeah.
So with this, obviously, it's been the fact that I've not been very well, and we've been worried about that. So we've got an underlying worry the whole time. When that is removed, every emotion that you feel is heightened.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very strange. I didn't feel how I thought I would feel, and she did actually say to us as well, it's very common for people to feel like this at the end of treatment. So that kind of made us feel better as well, didn't it? Yeah.
But good, I was just pleased, because I think part of me thought, you know, if I'm honest, 5% of me maybe thought, oh, you know, it was just a fluke first time. And when I go back a second time, they're going to say, oh, no, sorry, but we were wrong.
So go back in another month, don't we? And
which is normal now. I'm now
that's normal,
a 5-year watch.
Yeah, I mean, they're monitoring for 5 years, which is, you know, it's unbelievable, really, but good.
Unbelievably good.
Yeah, unbelievably good. And, you know, I said...
Think, this is the National Health Service.
Yeah, you know, it's the National Health Service, and people in America won't know really about the NHS, but we'll say, you know, a lot of people in England moan about the NHS, don't they? And say
it's
how bad it is.
It's very easy to moan until you experience it.
Yeah, and we had a little bit with Bryony with a hip problem when she was younger, but not to this extent, you know.
We were there a lot though.
We were there a lot.
And it's not like there was something to complain about, but that wasn't anything to do with the National Health Service.
No, that was a specific doctor.
Yeah.
But, you know, on the whole, you know, they've been fantastic with you, and
there's never been a wait for anything.
No, and
in fact, at times they wanted to do things quicker than we physically could. Amazing.
And Dan's oncologist, I said when I came away, I said, you know, I really want to do something to thank her. And then I thought, I might make her something and take it, because when we next go, it'll be just before
Careful,
Christmas.
she might watch the podcast.
She might watch. Dr. Haney, if you're watching.
Hi.
So I think I'm going to knit her a giraffe, and I chose some handspun that was gifted to us by Crystal. So Crystal, if you're watching, thank you, and I'm going to use your handspun.
To thank my oncologist.
To thank the oncologist, yeah. The handspun's like, I should have brought it down, it's got greens and pinks in it. Lovely. It's really pretty, and I wound it last night, so I think that's what I'm going to do to thank her. She'll probably think I'm absolutely nutty bringing in. But... Anyway.
Enough of your waffle.
Enough, we're waffling.
I want to know, Kay Jones, what's in your oven?
So what's in my oven today? Well, nothing yet, but what we're going to be baking today is, it's really quick and easy, and I think it's super delicious. Do you, Dan?
Yes.
We're going to be baking some semolina shortbreads. Can you see that? It's a Delia Smith recipe. Everybody in the UK will know who Delia Smith is, and I'm hoping people in the States knows who Delia is as well. It's available online. It's Delia online, and you can pick up the recipe, semolina shortbreads. And whilst we're talking about Delia, this is my Bible at Christmas. This is the new version. She actually had a Christmas book out for years and years and years that she brought out, gosh, I don't know how many years ago. That also got a green cover with like a red ribbon on, but she redid it a few years ago, and this is the new one. And at the same time, excuse me, at the same time she did this, I think it was at the same time, she did a Christmas show on TV, and I recorded it and I watch it every year. And it's brilliant, and she does Christmas pudding and Christmas cake and shows you how to make perfect turkey. So if you've not got this, I highly recommend it. Put it on your Christmas list, it's fantastic. So, what do we need for our shortbreads? Some people call this just shortbread, some people call it Scottish shortbread, but this one has got the addition of some semolina in it, which really does make a difference to the texture. So there's only 4 ingredients. We've got a little scan around our ingredients. We've got 175 grams of plain flour, not self-raising, just plain. 75 grams of, hang on, which one's the sugar? That one. 75 grams of caster sugar, and I'm using golden caster sugar because it's just got a bit more flavour than the plain white. 75 grams of fine semolina, and 175 grams of butter. So because there's very few ingredients, the only thing I would say is that you should get the best quality ingredients you can. So like, I've got my favourite butter, which is Country Life. If you're in the UK, you'll know what Country Life butter is, but basically just get your favourite butter. I'm using golden caster sugar because it does have a bit more flavour than the bleached white. And you know, just some nice quality flour. And all we do, are we ready? Dead simple. I've weighed it all out already. See, I'm very prepared today. I'm very Delia. We just put all of our ingredients into a nice roomy mixing bowl. So sprinkle in. You don't need to sieve the flour or anything like that. So we just put everything in. Sugar, and then the butter butter's at room temperature. But I'm just going to chop it up a little bit as I put it in, just to make it easier to rub in. Make sure it's at room temperature, otherwise you'll kind of struggle rubbing all your ingredients in. Just take it out of the fridge, you know, an hour before you want to bake. put it all in. Chop, chop, chop. And then all we do is we roll up our sleeves. I want to sing that song off CBeebies, but I won't. And we just rub it all together. The only thing you do when you rub together is just use the tips of your fingers. Everything should stay as cool as possible. So you just get your hands in, obviously make sure they're clean, and just start rubbing it all together. There's a lot of butter because you don't use any liquids to bring this together. You know, you will, when you put your hands in, you'll think, oh my goodness, that is a whole lot of butter. But just keep going, just rub. It'll take a few minutes, and you want to end up with fine breadcrumbs. Okay, so we've been rubbing these ingredients together for a few minutes, and we've got like this kind of sticky, pebbly sort of texture, which is just how it should be. And when you've got all your ingredients together, all you then need to do is just bring it together into a dough. So I'm just making sure there's not any lumps of butter left over, that I've got them all nicely rubbed in. Right. So all we do is just bring it together. It'll come together quite easily because there's so much butter in there. It's not for the faint-hearted, this recipe. So you can see it comes together into a ball of dough really easily. Your bowl should be nice and clean. And then we transfer it over to our dish. Now this is 20 centimetre loose bottomed cake tin. So the sides come undone. It just makes it really easy to get it out once it's cooked. I'm just going to get that off my fingers. And then really easy, simple, we just push it down. It'll look kind of a bit disastrous at first, but just persevere and just keep pushing it down until you've got it nice and even all the way around. You can use like a spoon or something to do this if you prefer. I just use my fingers, they're already kind of sticky and messy. So this is great for children. You know, children I think would love Bryony. I know she's at school at the minute, but she would love to do this. There's nothing tricky in it at all, and it's kind of fun to get your fingers all sticky. So it's all pushed down, and then you want to get the surface as kind of as smooth as you can. It will even out a little bit when it's cooking. But just get that surface nice and smooth. I'm just going to give my hands a little bit of a rub as they were a bit too sticky. You'll be able to tell if the surface is kind of flat just when you're pushing it down. Right. So, nearly there. Looks like wet sand. It's like walking across the beach. Right, so now just take a fork and prick it all over. This just gets any air bubbles out that are still in there, so that it'll bake nice and evenly and it won't sort of bubble up where the air is. So you've pricked it all over, and now we just make a little sort of pretty pattern around the edge. So you just get your fork and just push down. You see that? All around the edge. And if you ever buy shortbread that's in wedges like this, in like little, that's been baked in the round, then you will see it has like these little crinkly edges. So we just push that in all the way around. And then all we do is we pop it into a preheated oven, and it's 150 degrees Celsius, gas mark 2 Delia's put on here, which is so old fashioned, saying gas mark 2, that's when everybody had actual gas ovens. I remember that, my mum did. But 150 degrees C, which is quite a low oven, but that's just what it needs, and you cook it for an hour to an hour and a quarter. until it's pale golden all over. Watch it because you don't want it to burn, but it wants to be just a lovely golden colour. So I'm going to pop it in the oven and then you can come back when it's finished.
Well, I've got to say, they look delicious.
The shortbread?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't wait to see how they turn out. Yum, yum. Now, it's time for me to ask someone what's in their oven.
Oh, yay.
And the person who I'm selecting this time is, he was the first person who I saw to get the Chelsea buns in the oven.
I know who it is then.
He was in there like a... well, you know, because the script's right there.
Oh, right.
Oh, you haven't looked, I'll let you off. He had his buns in the oven in seconds. I think he had them in within 12 hours of the podcast coming out.
Super quick, yeah.
And one day we shall meet. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about Josh Wykes. What's in your oven?
Sword of a knitter.
Sort of a yeah. Sort of a knitter.
Sword of a knitter.
Is that Londoner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
What? You're a Cockney. That's the word.
Yeah, Cockney.
Oh God, that's Liverpool you just did. Or was it Birmingham?
Birmingham. Oh no, Zena, sorry.
Oh, Zena, sorry, no. We weren't taking the mick. That is why I was
Well, I wasn't.
wasn't either.
Just Josh in chief. Yeah, so Josh, what's in your oven? We want to know. I wonder if it's shortbread. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's something else. But show us all.
I want everybody to go out and make this shortbread because I've eaten about 25 pieces already.
She has.
I may have.
So, but they don't know yet how nice it is. So
No.
we'll find out later on. And you know what it's time for?
What time is it?
It's 11:26. Oh, sorry. Cross the lines.
And we're in the kitchen today because
We're in the Bakery Bear kitchen.
Because we did record the last two in Dan's office, but his
One.
drum... One? Was it only one?
Yeah.
Oh, only one,
Prior to
sorry.
that, we were
on the sofa.
in the lounge.
But we can't record in Dan's office anymore because his drum kit is now in that spot.
Yes.
Um.
Beautiful.
So we decided here would be good because we've got the table and...
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, and this is Bryony, by the way.
Yeah, I like it.
This was a Andy Is that right? Andy
Yeah.
Warhol inspired... Warhol?
Yeah.
Warhol. What's his name?
Andy Warhol. Don't worry about it, dear.
Okay, you know what I mean.
It's time for me to ask, Kay Jones, what's on your needles?
Yay! Well, I've just brought 3 things actually. I haven't worked on any of my socks these last 2 weeks. It's not good. Because I've been doing other things.
Christmassy things.
I have been doing Christmassy things. So the first thing I've got on
Festive
the needles...
things.
Yeah, festive things. Is Bryony's log cabin blanket. And I'm still on the same square that I was on, that I cast on the last episode. But I'm on the border now. I am bordering as I go along. So this one, I shouldn't have started that row really, should I? This is square 8. Square number 8. And I made a decision. I was telling Kimmy Knits about it the other day. I laid all the squares out on the floor the other night and I thought, do you know what, do I need to actually do 12? Because when I laid out the ones I'd done, I measured it, and if I do 9, it's a metre square, which is quite big, and once it's blocked, it'll probably block it, you know, a little bit bigger even still. And my worry was that I'm not going to get it done for Christmas if I do 12 squares. So I thought, right, I'll measure it and see what it looks like with 9. Because it's only like a sort of snuggle sofa blanket. She always likes a blanket of an evening, doesn't she, to snuggle under.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be big enough. So I made the executive decision that I'm only going to do 9 squares, which means I've only got 1 more to do after this, and then I can sew it together, and it will be done. So I might have it done for next time, but in any case, I'll definitely have it done in plenty of time for Christmas. So that was a huge weight off. Stressful, all this knitting business.
Yeah.
So this is my 7th square, and I thought it means I'm going to have loads of this cream left, but never mind. You know, find a use for it. And I'm using King Cole Bamboo Cotton DK in all of their colours. apart from black and white. And I still love this yarn. If you've never knit with it, I do recommend it, especially for baby knits. I think it's lovely because because it's bamboo and cotton, it's just so soft and squidgy and lovely and drapey and really nice. So that's my first thing.
Beautiful, exciting.
Shall I carry on or?
No.
Oh, sorry. What's on your needles?
Well, it's the continuation of Bryony's socks. I am slowly but surely being able to knit more and more, but I really do have difficulties with my handies.
Yeah.
Doing zips, doing anything that results in, like, me and Bryony went to the park the other day, and one of the buttons on my flies was undone, and the park, there was no one in the park, so I thought, no problem, I can just do it back up and no one will see and it'll be fine. Because the one thing you don't want to see when you're driving past a park is some bloke with a kid and he's playing with his flies. So anyway, I'm about to start doing the button up and some blooming fella turns up with his son. So I'm like, what do I do now? So anyway, slowly but surely, and it just hurt so much, I managed to get it done.
Your hands are struggling, aren't they?
So yeah, but they're getting better all the time. Drumming's really helping actually. I think it's getting strength back and just sorting out the nerves and things. But yeah, continuation of Bryony's lovely soft socks that one day soon I will finish.
You're not far off with that. We tried that one on her, and you're probably an inch away from doing the toe decreases, but I'm going to get him just to knit a couple of extra rounds just to give it a bit more space because she just won't stop growing.
No.
It's, oh my lordy.
It's very purpley.
It's very purple. It's beautiful and purple. Yeah, it's Malabrigo worsted.
Yeah.
And I think the colour might be something like, it might be Purple Magic actually. That's just come to me in a flash.
Yeah.
I think it's Purple Magic.
A flash of inspiration.
It's very purpley, and she will wear this as a hat. She's got 2 hats made out of Malabrigo worsted, and she's got one on today, a red one.
Right.
She will wear it as a hat.
She will wear it.
She will wear it. She will.
So yes, this is sock number 1 of Bryony's Malabrigo worsted purpley socks. So, Kay Jones, what's on your needles?
Okie dokie, my next thing, this sort of carries on with the whole Bryony theme, I guess. These are all for Bryony, all my whips.
Yeah, well, of course, it's approaching Christmas.
My next thing is another hat for Bryony because she's got about 15 hats that I've made her over the past couple of years, and the one she wears the most is one I made 2 years ago, and it's an owl hat, and the pattern is WHO. WHO. Free pattern on Ravelry by Penguin Pearls. Everybody will know it. I think it's this one with the little cabled owls running around. So, but the problem I had was the yarn that I knit it in is discontinued. It's Sublime Cashmere Merino Silk Aran, and I picked up a few balls a couple of years ago in a lilac colour, and that's what her hat's knitting. She loves anything lilac, pale purple, anything really.
Purpley.
So I hunted around and I found a shop that still had a few balls of a few colours in, and I picked up 3 colours. This one, I can't remember the colour name, it doesn't have them on there, it's just a number, it's colour 16. It's like a sort of mauvey lavender, deep lavender. Got 2 balls of that, I got 2 balls of like a coral pink, and then also a sage green, just for a hat for anybody really, just because it's such nice yarn.
I like it with sage green.
So I'm knitting the exact same hat as previously, but I'm just making it longer because her lilac one now is short on her, isn't it? And she moans that it doesn't cover her ears. So I'm doing the same hat but knitting it like an inch longer for her. So I'm this far in, and got a yarn tangle. I'm sort of halfway through the owls now, if you can see that. I'm just on my neck. And my nail polish exactly matches this.
That's beautiful.
Look at that.
That's beautiful.
That's cool. So that's the next thing. So I want to get that done in the next couple of evenings. I don't see why I shouldn't really. I might take it on the train tomorrow. If I can finish the cabley part tonight, because cable needles on a train, disaster waiting to happen, then I think I might take this on the train. And this is in my Christmas bag that I made last year, actually. One of my Christmas bags. So that's that.
Is it?
I think so.
Great.
Dan Jones.
Yes.
What's on your needles?
This is a project so epic, so mammoth, as you can hear right now, it has its own theme tune. For those of you who've been with us from the start,
so is this project.
Look away now. For those new viewers, go back to the start and review the What's on Your Needle section, and you will find this cowl. Very small, of course, and it now is substantially larger.
Yeah.
Kay's even done how many rows, do you say?
I did about 6 rows, I think, in the hospital one time when you were having treatment. I took it with me
Right.
to help you out. It doesn't look like I've done 6 rows. It doesn't seem to be growing at all.
I don't think she did 6 rows at all.
I did. I sat with that old couple. There was no space for any. It was a really busy day in the unit.
And weren't they talkative?
No, and I sat down. I started knitting. It was this old couple, and the old, the man turned to the woman and went, "Oh, you should have brought your knitting, love." Because I was sat there knitting, and I tried to make a conversation, saying, I don't go anywhere without it, and thinking that she'd start some kind of conversation, but she didn't, bless her. And she was an older lady. She looked about 80, and I gathered from what they were saying that it was her first treatment that day. I felt so sorry for her.
Don't blame her not feeling that great then.
No, at that age as well.
Fancy it.
Yeah.
So I've changed the name of this. This is a honey cowl, but I'm changing the name to the Cowl of Doom. And I should give myself a target for finishing it, but then no, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Because as many people have said, just knit and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And what I love about this cowl is I was able to pick it up immediately and know exactly where I'm at and just carry on. Yeah, gone are the days of short rows, baby.
Absolutely.
I miss short rows.
Aww.
They're nice.
You should do a short row heel then.
Okay, something's gone wrong.
What have you done?
I don't know. I've just done a normal stitch, a normal knitting stitch, and it was the loop on the back. I picked up that one right there. See?
You've just split your yarn a bit.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Look around the back. Does that look okay to you?
Oh no, what have you done? Hang on. Right, okay.
I knew something
had gone wrong. You just need to tink the stitch back. Shall I show you how to do it, or are you not bothered at all?
No, we changed it. We don't say tink, we say hickman. we hickman back the stitch.
Yeah. Oh my, look, Deb!
What?
She'll be watching.
I should hope so too.
Right, we had a friend round on last Friday. Dan's best friend called Luke. He's an actor. Lives in London, works in theatres, and
he's toured. He's been to many places in America
with the Blues Brothers.
But he came. Most excitingly, he came to Chicago with the official. It's the official Blues Brothers tour.
Fantastic singer. He's a fantastic singer.
Dan Aykroyd and James Belushi went to see it and loved it.
And so. Dan took some pictures when he was here. We've not seen him for ages. He is the nicest person.
He wanted a drum lesson.
He wanted a drum lesson, yeah.
So I gave him a drum lesson.
And he is the sweetest, nicest person in the world.
He's Bryony's godfather.
It's Bryony's godfather. He bought this for Bryony. So anyway, he was round and
he gave her £10.
He did on his way out.
And he's an actor, so he's got a lot of money.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And after he'd gone, you posted a picture on Instagram.
But he did eat about £30 worth of your sausage rolls.
I made him
in weight.
Delia Smith sausage rolls, which in the baking section, I'll show you that book. It's in that book, the recipe for her sausage rolls, and they are the best sausage rolls.
Those sausage rolls are Christmas.
They are. If you've got that book and you haven't made those sausage rolls, go and do it now.
If you haven't got that book, purchase the book.
Yeah.
And make the sausage rolls.
Make the sausage rolls and the Christmas chutney. Have them together.
That's a tough ask. The chutney. That's.
It does have to mature
tricky.
a bit. Yeah.
Make the sausage rolls.
So anyway, Dan posted the picture to Instagram. What does Deb Hickman say?
I met him the other week.
I know him. She said it's her. Luke Luke's girlfriend is her daughter's best
Longest
friend.
yes.
Long-standing best friend.
Yes.
We were
Insane.
like, oh my gosh.
And I know Luke's girlfriend too. We
Yeah,
both met
and
her.
we know Jenny.
Yeah,
And Deb knows Jenny.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't believe
Small
it.
world.
Couldn't believe it, Deb.
Next, someone will be messaging in saying they saw Blues Brothers in Chicago.
Yeah, they will. Oh, you might have seen him.
Yeah. So anyone...
I don't know anybody in Chicago. I don't think we know anybody.
Chicago viewers, please...
Yeah, if there's anybody in
please say
Chicago,
hello.
come and say hello, because I don't think I've ever...
And if you went to see the Blues Brothers within the last 2 years
Yeah.
in Chicago,
You will have seen
there's a high
him.
probability
You
you'll
will
have seen.
Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Very
was
exciting.
We digressed. We were tinking back. That's what we were doing.
No, we Hickmaned.
We Hickmaned back.
We Hickmaned back.
So you're right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I've already done some more stitches.
Alright.
Kate Jones, what's on your needles?
Right. The last thing that I'm going to show you, I've got loads of socks, but like I say, I've not worked on those. The story behind this project is...
Did we mention this last episode?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm positive. This has happened within the last 2 weeks, only that Bryony made a Christmas list.
Okie dokie.
Last weekend she made a Christmas list,
Okie dokie.
wasn't it?
Yes.
So that's what she did. We told Bryony she had to start writing a Christmas list, which she did, very methodically. Lovely, you know, she spent a good time doing it.
We need to put a warning on this next section. If you are under the age of 15, maybe even 20, then you need to turn off now and come back in 5 minutes' time. Skip forward. Continue with your story. So we warned you, okay? So
Right.
Turn off now, skip forward 5 minutes if you're under the age of 15 or 20.
15 or 20.
Yeah, well, it depends. They might have had a wonderful, innocent 20 years of
Right,
life.
okay.
But continue with your story, and
So-
all shall be revealed.
Clearly we're talking about believing in Santa. So she made her Christmas list. Sat down, I said, oh, shall I just have a read through and see what you put on it? And I was reading down...
Before we send it off.
Before we send it off to Santa. Reading down, we are fine, you know, Minecraft, Playmobil, all the usual stuff. And then I get to one that says, Snow White doll, hand knitted by Mrs. Claus. Now, who do you think Mrs. Claus is, everybody?
Well, no, we all know who Mrs. Claus is.
We do.
We do know who Mrs. Claus is, but Mrs. Claus doesn't knit. Everyone knows that.
Right. Last year, Mrs. Claus made Bryony a Little Bo Peep doll, hand knitted Little Bo Peep doll with sheep. The sheep weren't knitted, but...
And Santa was amazing, because you must have let him know, because he came in and he put sheep all over Bryony's bedroom.
He hid the sheep everywhere for her to go and find on
Yeah.
Christmas morning.
Yeah.
She got Little Bo Peep. So obviously this year she wants a Snow White.
And just thinking about this, I would expect Christmas won't be Christmas if Santa doesn't leave things hidden in her room that she has to go looking for.
Okay. So, Mrs. Claus is knitting a Snow White, not doll. We changed our mind a little bit on that, and Dan thinks I'm such a meanie, but Mrs. Claus has knit that doll about 10 times and just couldn't quite face it. So, Mrs. Claus is doing a Snow White dressed up mouse, and this is a new pattern. I've knit quite a few of these patterns and they're fantastic. It's little cotton rabbits. I'm sure everybody's heard of these patterns. She just brought out the mouse. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to knit the mouse, but she's also got another pattern for a dress with little cap sleeves. So I'm going to adapt. I'm doing this one with the frill, so I'm going to adapt it to make it look like the Snow White dress. With, you know, yellow shoes. Like, I looked up a picture of Snow White because I wasn't sure exactly what colour her shoes were and things like that. So I'm doing this little mouse. So of course I didn't have Snow White coloured yarn. You use a 4-ply yarn for the clothes. So I hunted around and I found a cotton. I'm trying this cotton. I didn't really want to spend a whole lot, you know, because you only use a tiny bit of each ball. And these were about £3 each, these balls. So I've got DMC Natura, just cotton in these lovely Snow White colours. So I've barely started it really, because I've just been doing other things, but I've cast on a little dress. It's got this ruffle at the bottom, so it will, once it's blocked out, you know, the ruffle will show more. So I'm going to do like the dress yellow, change the colour, and I think at the top half is like 2 blues, and then she's got a little bit of red I think on her sleeve as well, and the shoes are yellow. And then I've got 2 different yarns I can use for the actual mouse, because I wanted it kind of fluffy. This one is, they're both Adria Fill yarns. This is Angora Carezza. I've used that before. It's Angora and Merino, I think. And this one is Sophio Plus, which is mohair and acrylic. Gosh, I wouldn't normally buy something with acrylic in, but it's mohair and acrylic. I think I'm going to use that one because I've used that before. So, a little mouse is on its way, dressed as Snow White. Wish me luck,
Good
everybody.
Luck.
Thank you.
And for anyone looking for those last minute Christmas gifts, Zeddy Bubba Pills.
Our shop's not open at the moment.
Our shop is not open.
Well, it's open, but she's not sewing bags. I don't.
Is she selling Zeddy Bubba Pills?
I don't think so at the minute.
Oh,
not,
it's Christmas.
Not till January, I don't think. She's having
You'll have to use your Christmas money.
Having a little break.
In January.
Yeah, deserved break.
But I have one.
Have a break, have a Kit Kat, that made me think of
Yeah,
Denise.
except I haven't.
You haven't?
No. Kay told me off the other day for not eating my Kit
I
Kat.
bought him a Kit Kat from the corner shop the other day, right? Thinking, oh, we'll be excited, not had a Kit Kat in ages. I think Denise made me think of Kit Kats. It's been sat in the fridge for like over a week staring at me.
Pull up a chair of your favourite beverage.
Yeah.
Grab a Kit Kat.
Grab a Kit Kat. You see, Denise, you made me want to get a Kit Kat, and I bought him one, and it's still sat in the fridge.
I'm watching what I eat.
He is watching what he eats.
And I'm exercising.
You are.
Very hard.
That's true. Not very hard, but hard enough.
Hard enough. It's time for me to ask someone what's on their needles. And I've decided in this section it might be quite cool if I did a bit of a Hercule Poirot.
Oh, I love Hercule.
So I've done some research on this particular subject.
Have you?
Yes. This person's favourite colour is plum dark purple. So I wonder if what's on her needles is plum dark purple.
That's 2 different colours.
Well, that is what she claims is her favourite.
Well, plum is a dark purple, so I suppose that's...
Look, it's her favourite colour. Don't pick on her.
I'm not picking on her.
This person likes to visit Disneyland with her husband, but only in the off-season.
Oh, I don't blame her for that.
And she goes once a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. How
That's
lucky
amazing.
would you be?
She must live nearby.
Well, which one, I wonder?
Is it Disney World or Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Disneyland is in California. Is that right, Sally? And Disney World is Florida. Have I got that the right way around?
So, if that's right then, Disneyland is the original
yes.
one. Cool.
Which is in California.
Yeah, that's the one I'd like to go to, actually.
Yeah.
And the best bit about this person is, she hates to smell her dinner after she's eaten.
Right, but well, okay.
I think
I
that
understand
rocks.
what that means.
Do you?
So, well, you don't like cooking smells.
No.
I don't like cooking smells
no.
after I've
No.
finished.
It's very just the way it's written. Because you think, well, how can you smell your dinner if you've just eaten it? That's so funny. Amanda knits a lot. What's on your needles?
It must be something if she knits a lot.
Yeah. I should hope so. I should hope so. We want to see. Everyone wants to see. Everyone now is extremely excited about seeing something plum dark purple that doesn't smell of cooking and has a link to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of cooking and smells, I think we should go back to the kitchen.
Can you smell?
I think we should go back to the kitchen and find out how those shortbreads are doing.
Hi, so what's just out of my oven is the shortbread. So it had just an hour in my oven. My oven's quite a fast oven. It always cooks quicker than, you know, recipes say. So it had just an hour. What I then did is I took it out, I put it on a wire rack, just still in the tin, for 10 minutes. And then after the 10 minutes, I cut it. And if you do it after 10 minutes rather than when it's stone cold, it will cook much easier because it's still that little bit warm. and it'll cut easier. Now the recipe says to cut into 12 wedges. I only did 8. We're obviously greedy in this house and they're bigger wedges, but you can cut it into however many you want to. So it's
12?
Now 12, I know. I mean, I've cut it into 8. I think it's quite thick. I mean, we'll see when we take it out.
I care not.
And it's rich. You know, there's a lot of butter in it, but you know, hey ho. I like, you know, if you're going to have it.
You could have cut that into 4 for me.
But if you're going to have it, you might as well have it, haven't you, really?
Yes.
Have a piece, for heaven's sake.
Yes.
So, it's still a tiny bit warm, but that's fine. And now we're going to just unclip our case. And it should hopefully just come off. There we go. Now we're just going to take it out and pop the pieces onto a plate. So I've just got a little spatula. There we go. And I'll just recreate the little circle on a pretty plate. And this is, I mean, it's so quick. It just, you know, it takes an hour in the oven, but you're not doing anything in that hour. And it's so quick to make, and I can't think anybody in the whole world wouldn't like this. So we've popped it onto a pretty plate, and now to finish it off, we just dust it liberally with caster sugar. You really have to do this to finish it. You know, pile, I don't mean pile it on, but you know, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? It's really got to have that good dusting of caster sugar. And you can use white caster sugar if you prefer. I just like the flavour of the golden. It smells so nice. It's got like a caramelly sort of toffee sort of smell to it, this sugar. That's probably enough. I could keep going. Look at me, I could keep going. I think that's enough sugar. And we're done! And just store it in an airtight tin. You know, it'll be fine for a few days, but I can't imagine it will last more than an hour.
Okay, welcome to the taste test. Now, pardon my hair, I've not had time to do it, so if it gets in the way, just ignore it. Why are you laughing?
You've only got a bit of hair.
Yes, dear. We know, look, it's getting long, it's getting long. Okay, so it's time to find out what Bryony is going to score the shortbread out of 10. So, over to you, Bryony.
You ready? Go for it. Seven?
Did you hear that? Hear that in Kay's voice? That was genius. 7? Why 7? Explain yourself.
Is it nice?
What
7 or 8.
Oh, good, okay.
What did she score the Chelsea buns?
I think she scored those 7, I can't remember.
What did you score them a 6? I can't remember. Because she wasn't too fond of the Chelsea buns.
No, she's gone for another bite of this.
You like shortbread?
Do you?
Yeah. It's delicious. Cool.
Good girl.
So, the shortbread gets a 7 or 8, so should we call that a 7.5? It's a 7.5 for the shortbread. Now it's time for you to bake yours. So if you go and bake yours and post some pictures and score them as well. And let's see if you agree with Bryony, or let's see. What are you doing?
She's bouncing a bear in front of you.
Bouncing bear. Bouncing bear says hello. It's lovely. Where's the yarn from?
The yarn?
Yeah.
It's
that's now.
no, it was Easy Knits.
Easy Knits.
Yes.
It's lovely. It's got a little sparkle in it.
It has.
I like it. What's this one called, Bryony? Oh, okay.
No. I
Baby
forgot.
bear.
Look, she's still eating it. Look, look, look. Results. Yay.
She had one small chunk of the Chelsea buns
She
and that was
did.
that.
Yeah.
So, winner. It's delicious. I had some earlier and I love it. So yeah, go away, bake some, give it a score, let us know what you think. And now it's time to go back to Kay and me as well. I actually think she liked those a bit more than a 7.5.
I think she did too.
Because she absolutely polished it off
She did.
in no time. I wonder what you would have to do to get a 10. I know, chips.
No. The chocolate cake that she loves.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There's a chocolate cake that I post pictures of on Instagram that I've made quite a few times, and she loves that.
Yes. So the recipe, I will link it. I'll put the link there now.
Yep.
But also as well, if you just want to get a clickable link, if you just scroll down into the notes on YouTube, there'll be a clickable link which will take you straight to the recipe. And we'll also stick it in the Ravelry notes too. So the recipe is all over the place.
I hope you enjoy it, and really I can't emphasise how much you need to go and get that Delia Christmas book if you've not got it. I know that Knitting Den got a copy fairly recently. I think, did you say to me she got it from Barnes and Noble in the like used books or something? Is that what you said, Denise, or am I just totally making that up? But anyway.
That book is like... It's like a Bible.
It
Christmas.
is, and
my mum.
It's fantastic.
30 years ago, my mum gave me that book and said, "I want you to," and I'm going to get the book on the Christmas special, and I'm going to show you this. So there's me, aged crumbs. No, it wasn't 30 years. It's 25 years ago.
Yeah, you'd only been 7 if it was 30.
Yeah.
No, how old are you now?
I'm 38.
Right.
So I think it's 25 years ago that book came out.
Right.
And she handed it to me and she said, tick the ones that you like the best.
Aww.
And the last time I was down there, I saw the book. I said, is it still there? She said, yeah, it is.
Aww.
So you can see all the ones that I ticked. And it would be interesting to see what I ticked.
Yeah.
And that's what you should make next Christmas.
I should.
Oh, no. I'll tell her to make all the things I ticked.
You ticked. And that's the original book, which, as I said before, has got like a green cover with a red bow on it. But the new one that I showed you has got all the same recipes in and extras as well. She's kind of like made it more modern.
I like the green one, but
I like the green one, and I've got that one in the cupboard, and that's the one I always use. But the best thing about the book is that she does like a countdown. I think it's a 48-hour or 72-hour countdown to Christmas Day. She tells you exactly what you should be doing, you know, and on the day as well. She plans it out, so if you're eating like at 2 o'clock or whatever, you can adjust it. Tells you what time you need to put your turkey in. Then
Is there even a bit that says go to mass?
She does go to mass, but she used to go to midnight mass on Christmas Eve. She doesn't do that anymore because she says she's like can't stay up that late, so she goes to mass first thing in the morning. But it's the best book, and it's so Christmassy. You know, like the inside cover is full of baubles, and I just love that book. You bought it for me, didn't you? When it came out, and I love it. Yeah.
Kate Jones, what's off your needles?
Yay! What's off my needles? The first thing off my needles is on my head.
Wow.
Da, da, da.
And as soon as she's shown it to you and we've stopped filming, it'll be off her head.
No. I wore it all day yesterday, pretty much, didn't I?
Yes.
It's a headband, obviously.
You hated every minute of it though, didn't you?
Well, no, I didn't hate every minute of it. Right, okay. It's called Enid. E-N-I-D.
Hello, Enid.
Hello, Enid. Say hi to Enid. And
it's a bit itchy though, is Enid?
Well, only for me.
Itchy
Enid.
Enid.
Okay, shall I explain? It's from this book, Anne Kingston Stranded Knits. And my friend Lynn, who I'm seeing tomorrow, bought me this last Christmas. And I just felt bad because I've not knit anything out of it yet.
You're going to have to wear it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to wear it tomorrow. Yeah. So I thought, oh gosh, I looked through and I want, there's a really pretty hat in here and mittens. I thought, oh, I could make those, but they'll take quite a while. And I just wanted to make something that I could wear tomorrow, just to show her that I like the book and I appreciate it and that I've knit something. So I thought, right, I'll knit the headband. I've never knit one before. It should be quite quick. I got the actual yarn that it recommended, which is Rowan Felted Tweed, which is a merino alpaca mix. I'm not sure what the mix is actually. I'll have to look on Ballband. And I changed the colours slightly. I mean, obviously this is a paid for book, but there's a picture on the inside cover there of a girl wearing it. And she used a red as the main colour. And I'm not really a massive red person, so changed it to blue. So I knit it in a couple of evenings. It didn't take me very long, but I'm not the most experienced Fair Isle knitter at all, and I can't say that I 100% enjoy it. I just find it a little bit fiddly, I guess, and you've really got to concentrate on it, you know, because you're looking at the chart the whole time. But you know, I did it, and I didn't make any mistakes or anything. I didn't even block it. I just finished it and put it on my head. I think it's kind of blocked with the heat of my head. That's what I think.
You know when you're knitting?
Yes.
You know when you do a stitch like this?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. You see, because you're all watching now, I split the stitch.
Yeah, well it's single ply, it's very easy to split.
So I do that, and then
Yeah.
to get the stitch off I just do that, don't I?
Yeah.
Well, I've never done that.
Never done what? Pushed it off with your finger?
No, I've sort of pulled it off with the other finger.
Oh, right.
Which
You see, when I knit sort of closer to the tip of my needle, so it's not got as far to go, if you like. You might find it easier if you're closer to the
yeah,
tip.
you've said that the whole time I've knitted.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's just my natural
Shush then.
positioning. Yeah, sorry.
And you're quite a tight knitter, so that makes it more difficult as well.
Yeah, sorry. That was just a bit of a eureka moment. I apologise for disturbing. I now push the stitches off rather than pull.
So the headbands from this book, you can't. I don't think you can buy the patterns separately on Ravelry. You've got to get the book. But it's well worth it. It's got some beautiful patterns in, and this one here, Hedgerow, it's called, that cardigan. Sally wants to knit that cardigan desperately. I think she's ordered the book. So that's my first off the needles. And yeah, because of the alpaca, I am sensitive to alpaca, so I am finding it a bit like, I want to do that. But I'm coping with it, because I think it looks quite nice.
Yeah.
You said it
What's
suits
next?
me. Next off the needles is... It's Miss Gelato, and this is the draft that's on the pattern. There she is. Pattern. And
Just for you, Lisa Walter.
Yeah.
Pattern.
Button.
Button.
Button. No.
Button.
Button. We just
Button.
said button.
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 Yes. Bottom.
He has to lower the tone, doesn't he? And we should get our Italian friend to come and pronounce her name, because I told him this morning.
The guy's genius. I was talking to him once and he said, I can't do an Italian accent, so I won't even try, except for one word, which he said. I went to the theatre. I said, what did you go see? He said, I went to see Thriller. I said, what? He said, I saw Thriller. Thriller. It's marvellous.
Bryony's one of her little best friends at school. It's her dad, and he's Italian. He's very nice.
Only gets his hair cut in Italy.
He does.
And he only goes home once a year.
Like he goes home once or twice a year, and he only gets he's that fussy, he will only get his hair cut when he's back in Rome.
Imagine his shock though when he turned up at the hairdresser's and his hairdresser had died. Oh no.
He told us that last time. He was most put out that they'd died and he'd not got a hairdresser. So he had to wait until he went again. He was going again in a few weeks because his dad's not been well. And so he was like, he does wear his hair longer.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then he came back. He's really, really short.
Yeah,
And I came home and
yeah.
said to you, he's really taken advantage of that hairdresser and, you know, got his money's worth this time. We digress. This is Miss Gelato.
Yeah.
That's how he said it this morning.
It's good.
Miss Gelato. And she's knit with Dancing Dog Dye Works again. This is her colourway Ode to Fall. And then this is Cascade 220 Superwash again. And I think the colourway is golden for that. It's on the pattern on the back. I've listed the colourways on the back of the pattern.
You should use that. People use that as an expression for, yeah, we're okay, we're golden.
We're golden.
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah. That's so cool. Sounded like you were speaking all
right.
Yeah, all street.
I've not heard, well, I've not heard that.
How you doing? We're golden,
We're
thanks.
golden.
Yeah.
See, that makes me want to sing Golden Brown.
Texture
Like
like
sun.
Yeah, Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown.
Who the best bit about Gordon Brown, for those of you who don't know this, right? So he's going into politics and he thinks, I need to have a name that people take seriously. I can't use my own name because my name is James Brown.
Is it really?
Yes!
I didn't know
Gordon,
that.
you should have had that name. He could have walked
James
out.
Brown?
That could have been his thing.
I would have had much more respect for him.
Yeah.
If he called James Brown.
James Brown. Ow! Get on up.
If you know Gordon Brown, he's not like that at all.
But you'd have just thought, cool. Anyway.
Yeah, we're very digressy today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Off on
Continue.
a tangent. So here she is, and her cardigan again is Rowan 4-ply cotton. But you can, I've knit it in all sorts of fingering weight. You can use any fingering weight yarn for the cardigan. And like Dan said, the test knitters have largely finished now. Thank you, all my lovely test knitters. They were really fantastic. So she will be out for people to buy.
Yes.
The pattern page is up already. Well,
it won't matter.
It won't matter because she'll be out when this goes right. Confusion in the ranks. It's a pity she can't sit there. I can't prop her up and she could help us.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind because you're doing these in a different order to what I'd planned.
What, that you've written there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't look at
I
I'm doing them the other way around.
I thought I completely missed that.
I'm just doing them the opposite way.
I must have dropped off for a minute.
So
Maybe
look,
those pills do have some side effects.
No, they do. Look, there they are.
Father and daughter.
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, I only married them, but...
Well, no, it's like it's me and B.
I know, look. And the colours look fantastic. I just love Michelle's yarn.
Go and serve the
So
customers.
pretty, yeah. She's thinking up new flavours.
Yes. Tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti.
With curry.
Oh, God.
Delicious. What else is on your needles?
No, off.
Off your needles, sorry.
The one final thing is off my needles, and it wasn't even on my needles last time.
Yeah.
Did I even mention it?
Don't know, but yes you did,
I
because
did.
we were discussing the colours.
Yes, I did.
And I poo-pooed one of your colour choices because I said it
Oh,
was
that's
too
right.
nice.
It's still slightly damp because I only finished it last night. But I finished the jewelled cowl.
Do you know what? This is much nicer than the other one,
Why?
the pink one.
Why is it much nicer?
I think it's much nicer because if you turn it over, the jewels stand out more.
They do, that's true.
What's going on there?
Nothing, it's just not on the stitch properly.
Oh, okay.
It's just twisted.
Fine.
So I washed it this morning, so it's still slightly damp. But here is the jewelled cowl, and I used...
I think it needs a darker colour like this for
Right.
the jewels to stand
You're
out,
probably
for it to
right.
be effective.
I think it kind of looks like stars in a night sky, or raindrops falling
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
or snowflakes. So I used Malabrigo sock, and the colour is Côte d'Azur. Côte
It is
d'Azur.
d'azur.
D'Azur. It's one of my words, isn't it?
D'azur.
D'Azur.
D'azuri. Cotas d'azuri.
I shouldn't. I'm really Yorkshire
Shouldn't?
today. I shouldn't speak. I should just let you do all the talking.
Look, it's not my fault they sent me to blooming public school.
No, I'm just a Yorkshire lass from Rotherham.
Those were the days of education. If I spilled water when I was at school, you got put on a table for a week without water.
It's terrible, I know.
Genius. Hey, I tell you something though, no one ever spilt any water.
I know, imagine.
There was another table where the only language you were allowed to speak was French.
It's cool, isn't it?
Anyway,
the jewelled cowl is finished, and you know, it was fine. To be honest, I just wanted to get it done. Do you know when you have those knits where it's like, oh, I really don't want to do it, but I've committed to it and I'm just going to get it done. So I just ploughed through and got it done as quick as I can. And I didn't do it the full size that the pattern recommends. It says to do 51 beaded rows. I only did 32 on my last one. And that gets a cowl that's like 12 inches wide. And I think, gosh, if I'd gone to 51, it'd be like 18 inches wide. And because there's beads on it, it does weight it down at the front as well. So I've done it the same as my last one. So it's done, and the post office lady will get it. And that's that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's time for me to ask someone what's off their needles.
Cool.
And this person, I would guess there's a lot of things off her needles. Because she's a very fast knitter.
Is she?
Yes. In fact, she has a podcast called Swift Knits, which we've watched a little bit of. She's really sweet, actually, and she's got a really nice daughter and it looks like a really nice husband as well.
Oh.
Yeah, she's in Australia.
Oh.
Holly Duck, what's off your needles? So Holly does some patterns.
All right.
And what sort of stood out to me with Holly, and the reason why I picked her was she does a pattern called Little Ray.
Oh.
And it looks just like Mr. Ray.
Oh, it's a toy?
Yes.
Oh.
And I wonder if you could actually enlarge it, if you could just do it bigger.
I must look at it.
And you could have a family of Rays.
Oh.
But I really like her patterns as well because she calls things literally, which I really like. So there's a really nice looking thick cowl, and the pattern's called "Oh My Warm Neck," which I think is pretty cool. But then clearly Holly's never been to Doncaster.
I know the Doncaster one. Holly designed the Doncaster, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that pattern.
Yeah.
Just because it's Doncaster.
Yeah. Clearly you've not been to the original Doncaster.
No, it just made my mum and dad live in Doncaster.
I think we should take some pictures
and
send them. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a Doncaster in Australia.
There's got to be, hasn't it? I'm sure it'll be much nicer than the Doncaster in South Yorkshire.
Maybe there's a Doncaster in Vermont, and it's beautiful.
Maybe.
It's like this.
Maybe there's a Doncaster in America, because there's lots of...
Yeah, Vermont's in America.
There's like Manchester and...
Yeah.
Isn't there a London in America?
Yeah, well, they've got all the names from here.
Yeah.
Plus a load more.
Maybe there is a Doncaster.
There's even a Paris, Texas.
Yeah, there is.
So, Holly Dapp, what's off your needles? Go show us in the thread.
Yay.
I'm excited to see. She'll probably take up the whole thread.
She's a fast knitter, she will.
Yeah, do you not remember how swift she is?
No.
Which is the reason why she's called Swift Knits.
Does she knit English or continental?
I think it's English, Holly.
Right.
I think. Guess what?
Guess what?
It's time for What's on Your Stereo?
Yay.
So, last week we covered some pretty cool tunes. People seem to know most of the tunes last week. So I must have been going through one of those periods in my life when I was into very sort of common stuff. This week, be interesting. Be interesting to see what people think. So, Billy Joel, that we touched on last week, I developed a real interest in, and all my brothers are pianists, and so was my dad, and we had a big grand piano in our house, and I'd always sort of hear piano music. So I think that's what really made me get into piano music. And I was walking around, it probably wasn't HMV, I was probably about 15 now.
Virgin, would it have been these?
Maybe a Virgin Records.
Virgin Records.
And I'm walking around and I just saw this album. I've not heard any of the songs. And it was this guy with his shoes off, very Garth Brooks. He's the country western guy, isn't he? Who normally has his hat on and no shoes or socks.
He doesn't have shoes and socks on?
Well, I've seen a couple of albums where that's been his sort of image. But this guy, he's sat behind his piano, and I just bought the album and took it home, and the first song that I heard was this. I wonder who knows this.
Sally will, she loves Billy Joel, she said.
This isn't Billy Joel.
What's that? That says Billy Joel.
That says Billy Joel 2, the name of the artist. That's to remind me of the link, the reason why I got into this.
Right, okay. I'm clearly going to... Shows you how much of a clue I've got about anything.
So who recognises this song? Really interested to know. One of the things that is interesting me so much is finding out the tastes of people from all over the world. I think because music has been my life, and I think you've been interested in this as well. We don't know, do we, what is popular anywhere else? And you know, some of the things, some of the Christmas tunes that some people have recommended, I've never even heard of the artists, and you find out that the artist is massive in America, and we've never heard of them over here. But this is an American guy, he's called Mark Cohn. Now, you may know this guy without realising it because Cher covered one of his songs. And that song was Walking in Memphis.
Oh, gosh.
He did it originally. And to be honest, his version's great. And her version is not. I mean, I don't mind Cher. But just I think when you cover a song that's been done really, really well, you've got to do a really good job. So this is Silver Thunderbird. This is by Mark Cohn. I don't think he's around anymore. I've certainly not seen any more of his albums, but you can get this on iTunes. Just if you Google Mark Cohn or Google Silver Thunderbird, it'll pull up, I'm sure, loads of options of how you can get hold of this stuff. Highly recommended, very much like Billy Joel. And I was into this from about the age of 15. But the thing that really took off for me around this time, and has always sort of stuck since, is funk music. You like a bit of funk music, don't you, honey?
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
And a song that I remember when this song was number one. It was number one in the UK for a long time, and the video had a clown in it. I remember the video had a clown in it, had a stately home, and it had like an old-fashioned Morgan car
right.
pulling around. The song is this. Yeah, I want to be at the disco. What dance can you do to this?
Wow, it's tricky, isn't it?
Look at me go. That was just for you, James.
It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Great song.
Yeah, now, I mean, again, I wonder if people in America know this. I don't know how big this band was in America. Now, this song has a story around it. The first thing is, I was about 16, 17. I was about to go to Leeds College of Music, which is where the drummer from this band went.
Really?
Which is what sort of made me engage with this band even more. I'd already heard this song. The song is called Something About You. It's by a band called Level 42. Lead singer was a bass player called Mark King. Had an amazing bass with lights, LED lights in the neck.
He's got a fantastic voice though. He's
Yeah.
got a very distinctive voice.
He's from the Isle of Man.
Is he?
Mark King, yeah. And the other reason why does this song have special meaning for us, Kay?
Oh no, I don't know. Why? Oh,
Test.
you can't do this to me.
Relationship test, over to you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder if anyone presents podcasts where they don't get on with the other person. They sit facing in an opposite direction. That'd be so cool.
I mean, I feel really bad now, honey. I don't know.
Well, I played in a functions band, big functions band, and I think I probably mentioned this before. I used to go all over the country doing big functions and things. Anyway, there was an offshoot of that band, which sort of formed up to do the music that we really wanted to play. I can't remember what that group was called.
I can't remember either. I was just trying to think.
We only ever did one gig. It was great. Really loved it because we were getting to play the stuff that we really liked. And some of you guys would have loved the stuff we were playing because we did Eagles tunes, we did Heartache Tonight, we did some Doobie Brothers, listened to the music. We did all sorts of really cool stuff. And one of the key points of this band was that we all sang. So we all had to take the lead on a song, and I needed to find a song I was going to sing lead vocals on.
Have you ever told me this?
You came to the gig.
No. Was it?
Have you ever told me this? So Kay and I are in Morrison's in Ripon, and I'm desperately trying to think of this song. Weeks it had taken, and I'm in Morrison's, and I've not heard Something About You in ages. And it came on the stereo, and we just sort of looked at each other, and both of us had been thinking of it, and we knew that this was the one. So I learnt the song, and I was drumming to this and singing it as well. And Kay came to the gig with the Pooh Lady, with Nana Wendy and Grandpa Steve, who of course were going to a Christmas special. Kay came to the gig, and she's
no recollection of this at all. Was I
drunk? The band was called Lift, and she sat in the gig. And I was sat on the stage and there's people on the dance floor, but I could see straight through to her. And I sang the song and I looked straight at her the whole time.
Where did you do the gig?
In Harrogate.
Whereabouts?
In some cool place with a stage and a great lighting. It was cool.
Right, okay.
You,
was I pregnant?
I
remember going to a gig when I was pregnant. Was it that?
Is that your excuse?
I'm going to blame hormones. Yeah.
I sang the song looking at you. Something About You.
I I wish I could remember that. I mean, I'd love to hear that.
Flipping sang the song, looking at you. So anyway, level 42. We will continue this, and we will heighten the level of discussion on the close of the filming. No, I jest, because it was an awful long time ago. So level 42, great band. If you like that type of stuff, there's loads of good tracks.
Yeah, they're a great band.
Lessons in Love.
Lessons in Love.
Running in the Family.
Yeah.
Looking Back, It's So Bizarre.
Yeah, they're great songs.
All the things. Yeah, really cool. So give them a go, level 42. Around about this time, a song came out, 1993. So I was 18. Yeah. Yeah, so 1993, a song came out, and I absolutely loved it. Here's the song. Let's see if you recognise it. I can't imagine this band travelled at all. You could put on any hue and cry song, and they're all great. Great songwriters, Scottish guys, big for about 3 years.
Very of the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally missed up that stitch.
Very sort of the time, sort of mid-90s band. But musically, so great. Yeah, everything about that song is well put together. The production of it, the songwriting, he's a great lead singer, and all the musicians are really good. And I've got to say, in the music of today, you can't say that very often.
No.
So I think that's the reason why you pull these greats out and you love them so much. So that's Hue and Cry, that's Labour of Love, but any Hue and Cry stuff I think you're going to like. Give that a go, seriously, I'm sure you'd like that. Now, I started to get into, and what has recently I've had to rethink about with some of the educational stuff that we do. This particular track, the whole album's actually really good. And I remember vividly, actually, at the time, my brothers were involved, or my brother was heavily involved in theatre in the town that I was in, and some of the musical directors, they used to come round to our house, and I remember putting this on once, and this particular musical director saying, "What is that you're playing? It's phenomenal." And I'll put it on for you and see if you can pick the film. Yeah.
See, I know it straight away. You'll all know it. It makes me go all tingling.
That's called quality music, Kate. Isn't music great when it does that?
Let's go watch the film.
This is the famous thing. Now, what's amazing about this piece of music is it's been robbed by Disney. Disney use it.
Yeah, they do.
A lot.
They do.
Now, it'd be interesting to know which of you knows. Hopefully they're all shouting it out now. I know this, it's...
Everybody will know it.
This is by a composer called Michael Kamen, who unfortunately has died now.
Has he?
Yeah, he has. Phenomenal composer, and had he been around in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, this guy, as would so many of the composers of film scores, be deemed one of the best classical composers. So Michael Kamen, it's the overture from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the one with Kevin Costner. Now I went to see this in the cinema. I went loads of times.
Love this film.
And this film got me to understand and to appreciate classical music. Because if you watch the film and you listen to the music, if you actually then shut your eyes, you know what's going on in the film. And what classical music does is, because if you think back then they didn't have cinema, what they're doing is they're taking you on those journeys, but they have to do it with the music. So this then launched me off down a classical music path. But this album, I would just recommend that you get it. There are some tracks on there that are a little bit odd. They are where there's maybe dialogue going on, and it sounds a bit strange. But there's 4 or 5 tracks on there that are just totally out of this world. And I can put this on on an evening. You might be playing games or just sat chatting. It's great background music. It's just
It's
phenomenal.
like the one, the Gladiator one as well. I love
Yeah,
that.
Hans Zimmer. I mean, we'll come on to Hans Zimmer.
amazing.
Yeah, that's really good. So that is the overture from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and it's definitely worth a go. Now, it's time for me to ask, what's on your stereo? And the person who I've selected is from Croatia. And she's been with us from very early doors. She has indeed. Maria, what's on your stereo? Just in case there's more than one Maria from Croatia who watches, you are Lady Blue on Ravelry.
Lady Blue.
Yeah, you know Lady Blue,
Yeah.
don't you? She does some great projects, actually. Great knitter. She looks pretty young as well. She's doing some high quality knitting. But I want to know what you're listening to, because I want to know what's in Croatia at the moment. Maybe it's the Proclaimers.
Oh Lord, help us if it is.
That would be so funny.
Amazing singer.
So Stas Hartke Jr. is a family man. He's haunted by the death of his brother that happened when they were children. There's quite a cool scene where he remembers and they go ice skating, and unfortunately his brother falls through the ice and dies. And that happened at Christmas. So he associates.
But you see, there's so many, and we recognised things from different films, and it's
Clever
very
producer,
subtle,
clever director.
because that is exactly, well, it's not exactly like, but that's similar to A Wonderful Life. He fell through the ice.
Very clever.
Fell through the ice at the beginning. We watched A Christmas Story as well that everybody told us to watch, and do you know the lampshade with the leg? It was in the window
It's just
of
in the
this
window.
house, just randomly in the window.
In a second.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he's watching old family movies sat up in the loft.
In the loft.
Christmas
National
break.
Lampoons.
Yeah.
There's lots of things like that.
I bet you if you guys watched it, I bet you'd spot even more.
Yeah.
You should go watch it. Go watch Angels Sing. You can get it on, I think, do they get Amazon Prime out there? Of course they do.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. It'd be really cool if people go watch it and they gave their opinion as well.
We enjoy it. We both enjoyed it.
Feel free to disagree wholeheartedly with us. But so his brother died, doesn't like Christmas,
No.
he's got a son, has a wife, goes to visit the parents. Clearly they don't get on very well because he's so upset by what's happened from so many years before.
He had all these issues, didn't he?
Yeah. So then, I mean, what they did with the film that I didn't think was a very good idea was, so that the son associated with the dad, they killed off the grandpa.
Chris Christopherson.
And they made it, so that Harry Connick Jr.'s son felt like it was his fault. So that then created the bond between the... So anyway, all turns out all right in the end, supposedly. But if your dad had just died at Christmas, you wouldn't chuck the decorations up and start singing the Christmas songs.
I don't know, because his dad loved Christmas, and they didn't want it. What they were saying was it wasn't Christmas's fault.
No, it wasn't.
These things happened.
In my opinion, though, they recovered awfully quick.
They did. They did seem to recover very quickly. It was like the next
Grandpa's
day.
dead. Oh no, but it's Christmas, great.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. But all that being said, as lovely Diane would say, with all that being said, we enjoyed it.
We did, and I think I'll post a review up on the thread. If you've not seen the thread, please go over, because if you've not posted your favourite Christmas movie yet, why not? Please go post. But also as well, what we'd really like is if you see a new Christmas movie, like we've watched Angels Sing for the first time, let us know what you think, because we want to find good ones, and we have found.
We also watched some. Should we mention the Steve Martin one?
Look, the Steve Martin one was recommended by someone out there, and each to his own. Each to his own. And I love Steve Martin.
I just watched it with a shocked face, I think, the whole time.
We watched the whole film, and we would have turned it off had we not had Rita Wilson in it, Tom Hanks' wife. Yeah. It also had in Anthony LaPaglia, I think he's called, and Juliette Lewis from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And odd.
Very kind of dark theme
going on. A very
underneath.
young guy who we really don't like very much, but Bryony does.
Oh.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, who acts the same in every single film he's ever done.
But I've got to say, this role, he was at his most annoying.
He was.
And also the Gary Sandling.
He was the murderer, wasn't he? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hid him in the Christmas tree.
So this is a Christmas story. Oh no, it's not a Christmas story. That's a different film.
No.
This is a Christmas film with a murderer in it. This is a Christmas film where they run mixed nuts. It's because they run a helpline
for people who are on the verge of suicide.
Look, this guy phones up, and she thinks that there's a problem with the line, so she's going, click it.
And he shot himself.
He shoots himself.
And we were just going,
Merry Christmas, everybody. But, watch it, interesting. So that's what I mean. Share with us all your films.
Everybody's different at the end
they
of the
are.
day.
And it's great to try. Variety is the spice of life.
One person's whatever is another person's
Goose is another
whatever.
person's
What's the
turkey
saying?
crown.
Well,
I've made up a new one.
Yeah.
So, please share with us your favourite films. Please share with us new films that you've seen. And if you haven't gone over and had a look at the thread, it's really entertaining. There's some great things in there. Thanks to Margaret from Eastbourne and Andrea from Ontario, who actually took pictures of their whole Christmas collection and posted that, which was really cool. Thanks to Scott Busby from Wyoming, who posted a great live-action pic of Elf. That was so cool. How do you do that, Scott?
That's a cool name.
Scott Busby.
It sounds like he should be like a singer or something.
Scott also referenced Santa versus the Martians.
Oh my.
What is that? I'm going to Google that. I'm going to see if I can get hold of that, because that sounds super cool. So yeah, that is the end of what's on your Christmas TV. Please share with us. So yeah, we're getting to the end, but we have some exciting things to do.
Have a couple of things, yes, right. I've not bought much actually, I don't think, but just lately, which is always good. I know you're pulling a face.
I love it how you start the end with,
defensive.
oh, I've not bought much.
I've just got one purchase I want to show you, and I think I might have mentioned this last time, I can't remember, but a few weeks ago I put up a picture on Instagram of Bryony's, at the time she just had 4 My Little Ponies, and it was the purple one, the pink one, the orange one and the yellow one. I could tell you the names, but it's easier just to say the colours. And they were lined up on the back of the sofa. And I took a picture and I put a post on Instagram and I said, oh my gosh, I would love yarn in these colours. Well, Lisa from Fibernymph put up a post saying, I'll dye you some if you want me to. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you absolutely winding me up? I was like, yes. So we messaged and everything, and I said, look, can I have 2 skeins? If you're going to do that, I want 2 on your sparkle base. So she dyed them up and I got them just a few days ago, and here they are. It's on her Bedazzled, which is 75 merino, 20 nylon and 5 stellina, and it's My Little Pony 4-stripe. Oh, look at that! And I got 2. Aren't they fabulous? And the reason I got 2 is I wanted to make socks with one, and then I wanted to make a sock head hat for Bryony with the other. Plus, I'm going to make a mini giraffe with it as well. And I think there was one other thing she asked for out of it. I can't remember now. So, fabulous. Thank you so much, Lisa. I don't even know if Lisa watches. Probably not. But thank you, Lisa. I absolutely love it. So that was my purchase. And then, am I doing this, yeah?
Looks like I'll be editing here then. Or maybe I won't, for comedic value.
I was asked probably a couple of months ago now, actually, maybe not as long as that, to do a book review. And at the time, Dan was going through his treatment and it was just kind of the wrong time. But I went back to her a couple of weeks ago and I said, oh, I'd love to do it now if you still want me to do it. And the book is by Sally Jane Cameron. She does the Pink Hair Girl podcast. She lives in South Africa. And I think I binge watched all of her podcasts over like 2 days. I watched them all, Sally Jane. I think I just got kind of addicted to watching you. And I watched them all. And she brought out a book. It's probably, I think it was maybe a month ago, something like that.
Is it only a month?
Maybe. Or maybe, what are we in now, November? It's not that long ago.
Right.
Maybe 6 weeks or so. It's not too long ago at all. She brought out a book of patterns. There's 15 patterns in it, and the book's called Mzansi. I feel silly saying that, but it's a South African word, and I believe it means down or south in Zulu. Have I got that right? Did I remember that, Sally Jane? So it's Mzansi. And she sent me the ebook to look at. You can get a printed book from her website. It's www.pinkhairgirl.com. You can get an actual printed hard copy book.
Yeah, we'll stick the link for where you go now at the bottom of the screen, and we'll also stick it in the YouTube notes and also in the Ravelry notes.
Brilliant. And the hard copy book, I believe, was $28. The ebook is $20. It's 15 patterns in. And what she's done is she's taken inspiration from all of the areas around where she lives in Cape Town, and she's designed a very broad range of patterns based on these different areas in South Africa. And in the book, the thing that really struck me about the book is the photography. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a glance as well, and it's mind-blowing.
Honestly, the
it's the type of book that I would, you just...
Even if you're not a knitter...
Every so often you pick up and
you
go,
would.
That's amazing.
Even if you're a non-knitter, you know, if that was on, you know, your coffee table, you would pick it up and you would just stare at these photographs.
It's not just that though, is it?
Fantastic.
She also
gives you lots of information, history information about the area, tells you what inspired her to design that particular pattern, and I love all that, the backstory to do with it.
Context is such an important thing
yeah.
in anything creative. I think when you have context and you understand where things have come from, it's great.
Yeah.
And the context is great.
Yeah.
You feel like it's a slice of South Africa.
You do, and that's how I feel watching her podcast as well. She tells you a lot about South Africa, and I found it absolutely fascinating, everything that she said about it. And the book kind of is of a continuation of that. And the patterns as well really reflect each, you know, of what area or whatever has been her inspiration for that particular pattern. So there's a couple that I picked out. I love them all, but there was a couple that I picked out that I really love. And the first one is called the Cape Point hat. And there's a hat, there's a cowl, and there's mittens, all with the same design. It's got a chevron pattern on it, and I just think it looks super fun. I think you could make it male, female, child, and it would suit everybody. Then there's some fingerless mitts that have got, I think it's duplicate stitched, a little African girl on the back, and I love those. Bryony would absolutely love them. But my favourite pattern, I've got to say, is a shawl called the Jacaranda shawl. Jacaranda is a tree, as I understand it, but it flowers beautiful. And there's a picture, again, in the book, there's pictures of this tree, and there's like a whole sort of avenue of these trees, and it's the most beautiful purple. And she chose yarn that matches almost exactly, I think. You know, it's beautiful tonal purple yarn, and it's a gorgeous lace shawl, really, really pretty. So I think that's my favourite from the book. But I mean, as we said, it is, to me, it's more than a pattern. It's definitely more than just a book of patterns. It really is, you know, a book that you would just sit and look through and just admire the photography and how beautifully it's laid out. Patterns look very clear, and there's definitely a few in there that I'm going to knit. The only one point is I do feel that it's better read as an actual hard copy book rather than in the e-format. Just because of the layout of it. On the e-book, it looks as it does in an actual book, like you've opened a page.
Yeah, you're seeing a very like large landscape of 2 pages. No, it's very clever by doing that, because it means you can get a massive amount of content, but with it being an e-book format, Kay was having to do an awful lot of pinching and zooming, which when you're doing your knitting and you're doing a pattern, you just want to be able to flick, draw lines through things if you're using maybe Adobe to, you know, like again Diane does on Knittables. Yeah,
I mean, and now you can buy the patterns individually, so I imagine if you bought them individually, I haven't downloaded an individual one, that you wouldn't have that problem. I would have thought, I mean, like I said, I haven't done that, so I can't comment on it. But you can buy them individually. But I would say, if you like the look of the book,
buy the printed
I would,
book.
I would buy the printed book because I would love to, I'd just love to own the book.
It's
just
the
such
type
a beautiful book.
It's the type of thing you'll keep going back to.
Yeah.
It's really well put together.
Yeah.
And both Kay and I think that if you bought the ebook, you would get a little bit frustrated with it.
Just because of the layout, but the patterns are fantastic. And
although you did mention that to Sally Jane, and she did say she was going to have a look at that.
I did.
So things may well change with the ebook.
Yeah. But what Sally Jane, has very kindly said is that she'll give away an ebook copy to one of you.
So you can get to see if you like it.
So you can get to see whether you like the book, for free.
And if you do, buy a hard copy.
You could buy the hard copy, yeah. But you can perfectly well knit from the patterns. It's just that I think because to me, like I say, it's more than a pattern book. I would want to own the hard copy rather than it just be sat on my iPad. So what I'm going to do is I'll open a thread on the group and it'll just say Mzansi ebook giveaway, and all I want you to do to enter is to go and look at the ebook on Ravelry. You can view all the patterns and just tell me what your favourite pattern is, and maybe why you like it. And then I'll leave it open till the next podcast, and then we'll just random draw a winner, and then Sally Jane will send you the ebook.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll make sure all the links to buying the book are in the thread, so you can get on and go buy your hard copy.
Yeah.
And enjoy a slice of South Africa from Sally Jane.
If you haven't watched her podcast, then go watch it because I love it.
What's it called?
Pink Hair Girl.
Great.
On YouTube, and it's linked in her website as well, pinkhairgirl.com.
Here endeth the lesson. We've finished.
Oh, the toy knit along.
Oh yes.
The very last thing, toy knit along is still ongoing with pen, hook and needles. Yeah.
So what you could do is you could knit a giraffe.
Oh my goodness. You could totally knit a giraffe. Because it doesn't end until the end of December.
So you have ample time.
I mean, I didn't say about the giraffe, but if you've knit my bear, I think you will say that this one is definitely quicker. The people that have test knit it so far seem to have zoomed it out, really quickly, and I knit them in sort of 3 days of normal knitting.
Interesting though that the pattern length is exactly the same.
It did when I wrote the pattern. It came out exactly the same length.
Interesting.
Which is, I think it's just how it worked out. I think with a number of photos and things like that, and so you could totally knit a giraffe, pop it under your tree for you. I know lots of people have said, "Oh, I want to knit one for my son or my daughter or husband," and it could go under the tree. You could totally knit it in Christmas colours as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Miss Gelato Giraffe or Mr. if you want to make him as a Mr.
You can all you need to do to make it a boy, as you can see, is just knit it in different colours.
There won't be a Mr.
No, there's not going to be a Mr because it's exactly the same.
You don't need it.
There's no variation.
So who knows what the next member of Babysha will be?
Who knows?
Well, we don't even know.
No, I don't.
It will be a flat. We've had a few rumblings.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is cool.
It'll come to me in a flash, I expect.
Before I go, don't forget the best ever thread. Please go and share your best ever project with us. We decided last episode that would be our present to all of us for the amazing support that you've given all of us while I've been ill. It's been so cool to see some of the. It's just great, really inspirational. I mean, if you want to talk about enabling, get over there.
And I've not commented on as many as I should have on Ravelry, and I do look through absolutely everything, but I know I need to comment on more, and I want to comment on every single one because they're all so fantastic. But I'm talking to myself and telling me that I need to do that.
So here endeth episode 12.
12.
Yeah, I wonder. Do you reckon we could get to York before the next episode?
I don't know.
Because they would love.
You would love York at Christmas.
And out and about in York.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it makes sense to go sooner rather than later before it gets completely insane.
Well, we'd have to go next weekend then, wouldn't we?
We could go on the train, couldn't we?
Oh, we could go on the train.
We could hop on the train.
It's only half an hour away on the train, York. 25 minutes.
And out and about in York, I think you would enjoy. There's a massive amount of historical stuff going on there.
Take you into Betty's.
Take you into Betty's, take you round a little bit of the walls, the Roman walls.
Yeah.
All that to come in episode 14.
We're not having a 13.
No.
Dan's very, at the moment about stuff.
Say goodbye to episode 13.
No, we don't need any more bad luck this year.
Would you like to know the number on the door of the doctor that first identified that I had a problem?
Was it 13?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Was it really?
Yes. And as I walked in, I just thought, this isn't going to go well.
Well, you're having struggles like with associations of things, which is, why we've not recorded in the office as we used to, and clothes are not being worn and things like that. We've just...
And clothes have just been thrown away.
Yeah.
It's not that they've not been worn.
I do understand.
Any clothes related to...
I said to you this morning, I do understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one of our on the couch therapy sessions. It was great.
Sounds wrong, doesn't it?
We'll see you next time, episode 14.
14.
Bye.